welcome back to yet another episode of Hashtag The Blue Mic, where we celebrate independent artists and independent music and their beautiful musical journey along with us. So who do we have with us today? Let's have a small introduction by him. So hello, would you love to introduce yourself, please?
Hi guys, I'm ATTEEV and I am an independent artist from Mumbai. I've been in the industry since the past 2 years. I started my journey in lockdown and I just released my latest EP called Look How Far We've Come on the 17th of March. And I'm really happy to be here, really honored to be here.
How sweet. So do people actually ask you this question that are you somewhere related to Sanjay, Leela, Bhansali?
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. But
So
I'm
what's
not.
your favorite answer to that?
Usually, if it's someone who I have like I'm an acquaintance with, I have developed the entire backstory. I tell them, yeah, I am. He's my dada's cousin, and this, and then I create like a whole thing, and I'm really believable at it. And then by the end of it, I'm just messing with you, and it just becomes such a nice icebreaker and a conversation starter. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
Ah,
fun to do that. Yeah.
yeah, sure. So let us first of me congratulate you on your eminent release of your second EP. So just tell us something about that. That how was this being created? What was there into your mind? What was the song you came out with, and what inspired you in writing?
Okay. So with Look How Far We've Come, that's the EP title. It was actually me and my manager slash creative strategist who I've been working with since the past year. And he came up with the idea being like, okay, we got to create an EP. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I had 4 songs of the EP already done by then. And
Mm-hmm.
each of them were like, I had written those songs with the idea of making them a one project because it's the 5 stages of realizing how much power being authentic to yourself actually holds. So if you strip away all the things that society kind of enforces you to be a certain type of way, if you just genuinely just accept yourself as who you are, there's a lot of strength and a lot of power in that. And the 5 songs of the EP just like show my sort of journey through that acceptance to the end where the last song in the EP is also called Look How Far We've Come. And that's just like the title itself is like looking back and being like, in the past 2 years, look how far we've actually like come. And it's been a difficult past 2 years for everyone considering the pandemic. And it just sort of made it like a very collective song, something that like a collective EP that all of us can sort of relate to in a certain way.
Quite interesting. So, but I think tell us something about your journey in the music. Like, was that there were people around you in the house that were inculcated with the music around you, and you really imbibed it from them, or was it something that you developed a passion for music and you were like, I'm going to go the other way now, not what my family is letting me do or asking me to do for?
So music, so my mom, I got the singing voice from my mother, and
Mhm.
she used to sing a lot. And she kind of like, since I was a child, she kind of introduced me into the whole, the Richard Marx and Brian Adams and that era. When I was like 6, 7, 8, I'm listening to those kind of songs. And by when I was in ninth, when I was 9 years old, not even ninth, 9 years old, my teacher found out that I could sing, and then it's just I realize how much of a relief and a lot of peace I get in it. And since then, I just have been singing, and I've been always trying a lot of different things in music. I properly started like releasing music in 2020, and the thing is that I haven't not like sort of I do 2 things, right? So I am also like a business, like I own a business, I run a company, and I also do music as my second career. So I have like 2 careers that I'm juggling at the same time. And so I've not really let go of that one aspect, but because music is so important, I've figured out a way to balance and give the equal full day sort of hour work to both of the careers.
But it's quite interesting that since you've been writing since the age of 16,
Yeah.
where most students basically are at that time ki 10th ke boards ke baad, what are we going to be doing next into the life? And you were there that thinking about certain aspects of your life, jotting down and noting down those lines for you, creating those songs in your mind. That at the age of 16, what really actually drove you to write down?
Oh, because I've so now this I blame Brian Adams and Richard Marx on. Since I was a kid, I've been fed with the only music of like the whole soft lover boy, because they all are just like romantic songs, right? And that's what my mom used to listen to. So I am like a huge sort of romantic. So I know that this works. I know if I write, whatever relationships I get into, it's going to be a huge brownie point for me. And then when I started off with that intention, I realized that there's a lot more that I can explore in writing, and not just when it comes to another person, but a sort of a reflection of what I'm going through or what I'm feeling. And 16, when you're just like getting into that whole, like the real world, just like entering that phase, there's a lot of turbulence and a lot of things that go on that you can't really communicate with people, because your friends are going through the same thing like as you are. So the only sort of out for me was writing and writing music. So that's how it like turned out. So that's what it basically was. But first it was for the girls.
All right. So with that, I would really love to have a song from you coming up. So that let me see that. How do you really woo the girls with your voice and your writing? So
Okay.
can we have the first song from you, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first song is I'll play just to like set it out is the song is from my first EP called Fragments of My Former Self, and the song is called Where You Going, which is also written about a girl. Okay,
Uh,
so here goes.
What do you do when you give the keys of your heart to someone new? Oh, maybe it's true. I'm gonna be the one who'll always lose to you. So where do I go from here? What do I do? My heart wants to be with you, but I know that I can't feel this. Throw me a lifeboat now, 'cause I'm drowning away. The emotions go way too deep before even I got a chance to say where you going, where you going, taking my heart away, away. You can find me when you wanna come back where we met yesterday. Yeah, it gets harder every day, I swear. It's easier to live inside a bubble than face the truth. I know that I have got no right to care about you, 'cause we met 2 days ago, but there was something there. So where do I go from here? What do I do? My heart wants to be with you, but I know that I can't feel this. Throw me a lifeboat now, 'cause I'm drowning away. The emotions go way too deep before even I got a chance to say where you going, where you going, taking my heart away, away. You can find me when you wanna come back where we met yesterday, Oh.
yeah, but now I get to understand why boys started writing at the age of 16. All right.
Uh,
But I think moving on to the next question, it's like there are many artists who are just content with the art of writing their own songs. They're like, okay, we can write up our songs and we can manage it up. But you're one of those that you even learned the art of production.
mhm.
Right? So what did you achieve basically when you learned this art? How was it beneficial to you as an independent artist?
It's twofold. One is from the creative side and one is from the business side. Like I'll start off with the business and then move to the creative. Business wise, I've realized that I like to like the way I work is I know I can accept it. I'm very controlling with my work because I'm very, very, very protective of my work and how I want the work to go. So I'm not able to collaborate with a lot of people. I don't like cast my net out there and like try to find different producers and then communicate to them and then try to see if they can match my vision. So, and also that is also very time consuming and an expensive process because good producers do charge a lot of money. And at that point, when I was like, I want to release music, I do not want to spend that much money because I cannot justify it. So I was like, okay, let me learn it. Let me see how difficult it is. And while I looked at it through that aspect, I eventually started to realize how much of an affinity that I have towards production, how much I love it, because it's like I get to play with sounds. Here I'm only playing with my voice as a sound. Now I get to like craft the entire thing from start to end. And that is very exciting to me, to be able to choose different sounds and then sort of create my own style that can then induce and create emotions in my listeners. And that is something very exciting to me.
So, were you happy when you actually came up out with your first EP and the kind of responses people gave up to you? Like, were you expecting certain things out of the EP which you launched up earlier, or like you were like, guys, I just wanted to be out and expressing my music with the people and the people around me, and without any sort of so-called expectations? It's like I just wanted to know that yes, ATTEEV is a singer. So, what were your reactions at that time?
So so I'm very grateful to have a very strong sort of support system around me. So even if there's not a lot of going around, I feel like there's a lot happening. And what happened when I released my first EP is didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I'm supposed to get. Like, am I supposed to get 100 streams, 500 streams, 200 streams? But when I launched it, it was insane, because the support that I'd gotten when I launched was so much that I hit like 2,000 streams in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I hit 2,000 streams, which was insane, because I was not even expecting 100 people to listen to me. At one point in time, I was like, 25 people are listening to me at this very second. When I opened like my back end, I'm like, to have 25 people listen to me at one time with my first project felt like a lot. Like, it felt like insane. And it's something my parents have always kept in my head, is that don't expect, just work. Just put your head down and just work. Everything will fall in place when it's the right time. And that's how I always keep myself, sort of, I release the work that I want to release to my audience. I tell them what it means to me. I guide them along the experience. And then the numbers are just like, they can be to the side. Like, because now that I've had people come up and tell me that, oh, I've heard fragments, and I've like May from Made in India. I don't know if you've heard of Made in India. She told me that from my first EP, the last song of my first EP, which is a 1-minute outro song, was one of her favorite songs of my catalog. That itself speaks a lot. Like, that itself was like, oh my God, this feels like, whoa, like people are really consuming my work. And that is very, very like humbling. It's very humbling.
So there was this time that you also worked with Clean, if I'm not wrong, and
Yes.
that was a producer from LA. How was that feeling for you inside, Adil?
KLN. So it's crazy you mention his name, because he's one of my best friends. He's one of my mentors. He's the person that has guided me in terms of my music quality throughout my journey. And what's crazy is I met him. I went to LA to study in 2018 at this for a 1-month course at this at this boutique studio called Create Music Academy. And I was the first Indian to go there, because they don't accept admissions. It's just submit your links. If they like you, they'll call you. If they don't, they don't. Because the artists who work there are like Drake and like Rihanna and Chris Brown, and all of these people work there. So I got that. He was my roommate out there, and he really helped with like a foundation basis of how we're supposed to look at music, in terms of how what should be my quality control, because he always tells me quality matters first, not quantity. And it's crazy, because just in Feb, he lives in Slovenia. So on the 7th of Feb this year, I went to work with him for music for a month.
Amazing. I mean, like I can have a feeling from you that how wonderful time you guys must have had with each other there. I think when you talk about the writing, obviously, you started writing at the age of 16. Now, till the age of writing at this present moment, your writings must have also been changed. There's a lot which has been learned by you. There must be phases where you must have written some songs and they could never be completed also, because you don't find an apt word or an apt line after that. So when you talk about the writing, how has it evolved with the time? And when you actually get that point where you're blocked that, you can't express it right now. So what do you do with that song?
So my writing has evolved a lot over time, because what happens is that, so I read a lot. I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of I'm a fiend for literature. I love literature, and I love English as a language, and just what you can do with the words. And that's something, because I do a lot of that. The way I write it mirrors what I read. So my writing has become a lot more free flowing. Now I don't sit and like, I'll write the entire song in 10 minutes. All my songs that I've written in 10 minutes. And then I just go back and pick and choose words here and there, change a little bit of a line here and there. That's it. Because I believe that what I'm writing in the moment is what I feel in the moment. And that needs to be captured and not just go back and be like, okay, I'll rewrite these sections and I'll rewrite those sections. If it's necessary, I will do it, but that's not my first go-to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. And yeah, just think like writing is, it feels like a nice reflection of what my mind actually is trying to communicate.
Absolutely, quite interesting. So, when you talk about communicate, I would really love to know that, which is another song that you're going to be communicating with our audience.
Absolutely.
No, another version and story of it too.
So this song is called Meant to Be. It's the third song from my EP, Look How Far We've Come. And this song is I look at it as a euphoric pop rock song, because I was told I could never write and sing pop. Like, that's the thing. Like, if people tell me I can't do something, that's why I do it. Like, it's like, if you tell me I can't do it, I'm going to do it. So whether that be hip hop, whether that be rock, whether that be rap, or whatever it be, I just be like, okay, I'm going to make it my own. So this song is called Meant to Be, and it's my take on euphoric rock. So
I know what it's like to be alive. Things seem to be alright. Underneath we're fighting for our lives. I know what it's like to feel like you're out of time, trying yet you're left behind. See the flashes in your eyes, but wait, you're not alone. We know what it's like to get lost with nowhere to hide. Let me tell you what this has come to. This was meant to be. I know that we're feeling what we feel. Can you see it? Yeah, we could see it every day, but I just know that I can hide our hearts and our heads. But I just know that I can fight the way I feel with it. Is that even right? We know what it's like to get lost with nowhere to hide. Let me tell you what this has come to. This was meant to be. Feeling what we feel. Look at how it made us see what was really underneath. I know the pain we felt was nothing less than hell. See the way we fought it out and made it back in the end.
Wow, that was another beautiful song, which is again by ATTEEV for us, guys. And I'm sure even this had some kind of a memory lanes with him, which he's just traveled while he was singing it for us.
yes, absolutely.
So, when you talk about the relationship of a social media and an artist, as you said that you have been reading and you've got an analysis of everything in detail. So, what are the good things and what are the bad things about it?
The good things is that it's never been easier to break into the industry. It has never been easier. The amount of opportunities that you can possibly get is endless. It's infinite. The bad thing is that there are so many people doing so many different things at the same time. It can get very mentally draining. Like, it can get very difficult if your reel doesn't hit 1,000 plays. Like, I mean, for an independent artist, that's a lot. Like, to even get a viral reel that can potentially break your career is something that everyone wants to do. So it takes a lot of work, and it can be very mentally taxing because there's no reward for a long time. Like, you're just doing it, and there's no sort of reward, and that can be the downside of things,
Quite interesting. So, with that, we would really love to know which is the next song that you're going to be bringing up for our audiences, please.
This song is called Look How Far We've Come.
In seeing blind. I walked along with steady feet in my mind. I don't know where we could be. I've got a lot of things to say, but with you here I'll be okay. I'm running out of time, I know. I'll tell you all you have to know. When I wake up and I think about it, I know I kinda found a way. Look at what we've built with you and I, yeah, you and now I know. Stumbling back, I know. We figured it out somehow. Every step we took along, not easy, I'm thinking of you alone. And every time we spoke, you looked at me and told me I would get it, I know. I've got a lot of things to say, but with you here I'll be okay. I'm running out of time, I know. I'll tell you all you have to know. When I wake up and I think about it, I know I kinda found a way. Look at what we've built with you and I, yeah, you and now I know.
Absolutely, quite sweet enough. 2023, this year is going to be off ATTEEV doing what?
Performing live, performing everywhere that I possibly can.
Ah,
So,
that's quite interesting. So perhaps you're going to be finding everywhere us around you so that we
yeah,
can come.
I'm really hoping for that.
Absolutely. Let's have the last performance review for all our loved audiences who want to hear more of you.
So the final song is one of my favorite songs. It's called Real Life. It's the third track from my EP, Fragments of My Former Self. So here goes.
Look right at me. We'll dance along the beach like we're in your favorite movie. Recreate the scene, one where we see the leads, they fall in love over coffee. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, girl, you got me feeling some way. I know there's something between the two of us. You got me going insane. When I'm with you, I'm thinking, what did I do to get someone like you with me? Just know that I'm always checking around to see if this is real life or a dream. I'm paranoid, I'll think it's make-believe. You're way too good for me. But you're giving that look now, the one you gave that time you killed the doubt in me. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, girl, you got me feeling some way. I know there's something between the two of us. You got me going insane. When I'm with you, I'm thinking, what did I do to get someone like you with me? Just know that I'm always checking around to see if this is real life dream, yeah.
Absolutely amazing, in fact. And now I really get to know this, Ateev, that why every song of yours has a story to tell, because you really have all those, kind of pearls being strung so well into it, the beats coming up for us that, it's beautiful hearing you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate this.